Please remain standing while members of the Madison VFW Post 2638 and the American Legion present the flags and the singing of our national anthem by DSU vocalists Mason Wyman and Sarah Stalick. Please remain silent as the flag bearers march out of the auditorium.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Yosei Marie Griffiths, the president of Dakota State University, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to our 2019 fall commencement. This includes those of you in the Playhouse and those who are participating online. First, I'd like to congratulate each of you who is graduating today. We're gathered here to celebrate your success in achieving this admirable milestone in your life and your career, a Dakota State University degree. Secondly, congratulations to those of you who are here to support our graduates. None of us achieves any success on our own. We're dependent not only on the support of those we know and love, our family and friends, faculty and staff, but also on hundreds, if not thousands of people who may be invisible and unknown to us, but without whom none of us would be here today. I've always loved the Isaac Newton quote, "If I see further, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants." Well, we're all standing on the shoulders of giants in this field house today. The giants who had the vision to establish this institution that is now named Dakota State University, as well as those who've sustained the university over the years. the giants of our families and friends who've made choices and provided loving support day by day throughout our lives, and the giants of this Madison community, this state, and this country. We are in amazing company today amid a host of witnesses to celebrate the success of hardworking individuals who constitute this graduating class. Graduates, please stand, turn around, and join me in thanking your families and friends for their contributions to your success. I'm pleased that we have a number of distinguished guests to celebrate with us today. On the platform, we have our commencement speaker, Mr. David Link. Representing the South Dakota Board of Regents, Regent Barb Stork. Representing the DSU Alumni Association, Andrew Gross, class of 2015 and 2017. And DSU's Student Senate President, Nathan Harms. Our interpreter today is Julie Pallock from the South Dakota Department of Human Services. Seated in the audience today, we have Laura Link, wife of Speaker Dave Link, Dave's mom, Kathy, his daughter-in-law, Fallon, his son, Matthew, his granddaughter, Kada, and his granddaughter, Audie. So welcome to today. It's now my pleasure to introduce Student Senate President Nathan Harmer. Nathan is from Sioux Falls. After graduating from Harrisburg High School, he chose the BS in Network and Security Administration major and is graduating today with that degree. He's now pursuing a master's degree in cyber defense. In addition to serving as the Student Association President, Nathan is involved with the Computer Club, Defensive Security Club, and Trojan Ambassador. Please join me in welcoming Nathan.
So as President Griffiths introduced me, I'm Nathan Harmer. I'm the Student Senate President serving this year, and I've been in Senate for the past 3 years. I also am involved in numerous clubs and organizations, along with serving as an RA for my first 2 years here on campus. If you spent any time with me, you've probably heard about my Great Dane puppy, Apollo. He's 10 months old. He's adorable. And I've learned a valuable lesson from him that I want to share with you. Oh, and I hope it's something that will help you in your future direction, rising to something great. He has shown me that the small moments can be just as impactful as the big ones. If you look back over your education career, both in K-12 and in higher education, think about what you remember. Is it the big tests, the long lectures, the projects? Sure, you probably remember from this year, maybe next year, but what about your senior year of high school? How much of those do you remember? Instead, you probably remember spending time with your friends in the lunchroom, your homeroom, that one friend that somehow was in all of your classes, even though you had a pretty large class. In college, you probably remember a study or project group that broke down in laughter and got nothing done for the rest of the night. You probably remember bowling in the dorm room halls, hearing a professor make an entire room laugh, even though they probably don't know what humor is, playing games, or just finding that niche of people that you felt at home with on campus. Those are the small things. As you leave here today and go back for your last finals, remember that the small moments are just as important as the big ones. Go out and succeed. Keep making impactful small moments in your life and others. I will leave you with a quote from actor Armin Human. Life is not measured by time, it is measured by moments.
Thank you, Nathan. The South Dakota Board of Regents describes an honorary doctoral degree as its highest honor bestowed upon individuals who've achieved distinction in their professions, have rendered outstanding contributions or service, and/or have made a recognized scholarly or service contribution as a regional, national, or international figure. Dakota State University has a long tradition of awarding honorary degrees. We award an honorary doctorate to a person we determined has earned this recognition as a role model and as a living illustration of the values and contributions we seek to instill in our graduates. A Dakota State University honorary doctorate affirms that the honorees have distinguished themselves by their vision, courage, compassion, proven success, and generosity, with special emphasis on how they help other individuals and organizations succeed. Today, it's my great honor to confer an honorary Doctor of Science on David Link. Provost Jim Moran and Dean of the Beacon College of Computer and Cyber Sciences, Richard Hansen, will you please escort our honoree to the podium and assist me with this presentation? I am absolutely delighted to have with us this morning an individual who's had a remarkable career of impressive influence and achievement, as well as an enormous influence on DSU. Dave has had a distinguished career, mostly with Stanford Health, where he spent 32 years. He retired from Stanford Health in 2015. Dave's contributions to Stanford Health and Stanford research are highly regarded. Stanford CEO Kelby Cravenhoft wrote to support this nomination. Dave Link's Stanford career spans over 3 decades. Retiring in 2015 as Senior Executive Vice President, Dave was responsible for corporate strategic planning, and he was known as the systems thinker. He joined Stanford in 1983 as the Director of Data Processing and became Vice President of Planning in 1990. And he was named Senior Executive Vice President in 1997. Dave was a leader in information technology, health plan, foundation, research, international clinics, and Stanford initiatives. He was instrumental in development of the Stanford Clinic and Stanford Health Network. Let me think on that were familiar words expressed by Dave when a significant opportunity or challenge would present itself in the Stanford corporate office. Soon, a well-thought-out solution and strategic plan of action would emerge from his thinking, one that would take into consideration how to move the system forward. Dave's critical thinking and proactive approach helped shape and put in motion transformational plans that continue to drive Stanford Health today. His concept of initiative became a hallmark in the development of what is now one of the top healthcare systems in America. I'm personally grateful, this is Kelby speaking, I'm personally grateful for Dave's 32-year contribution to Stanford. So grateful that even today, Dave continues to provide his guidance to our business development team. Dave is forever a part of the Stanford family. Now in 2017, when I was in confidential negotiations with T. Denny Sanford and Miles Beacom for the Rising Gift, I was asked to identify and hire an acknowledged cybersecurity leader as program director. The donors believed that this individual should have a strong business and technical background that would support the ability for the programs of activities covered by the gift to develop to be the best in the nation. I spoke with numerous people in South Dakota and beyond, and names were few and far between. And then I learned of Dave Link, who had recently retired from Stanford Health and had a house on Lake Madison. I contacted him, we had lunch at the Hillside, and we talked about the gift and especially about the Mad Labs vision. And a couple of weeks later, we agreed to come and join us at DSU as Mad Labs program director. Dave's contributions to DSU have been significant. In a short period of time for academic initiatives, he has taken the Mad Labs from concept to realization with a strong focus on collaboration and excellence. He's developed a solid financial model to support the Mad Labs over the long term. He's worked to mentor faculty and staff in R&D strategy, proposal development, and lab startup. He ensured that the architectural vision and construction realities merged to meet the functional and economic requirements of the new building. He initiated and nurtured partnership opportunities for Mad Labs, and he participated in strategy and financial discussions related to the future development of DSU. Dave is a genuine representative of the servant leader class, quiet and humble in demeanor, but significant in impact. Without his efforts, we would not have achieved the progress we've made in not only achieving, but exceeding the milestones outlined in the Rising Gift Agreement. And for these reasons, we are pleased to present Dave Link with an honorary degree. Congratulations, Dave. And now, please join me in welcoming Dr. David Link into the Dakota State University Fall Commencement podium as our guest speaker.
Wow, you expect me to say something after that? Wow. You know, thank you for the wonderful comments, and it's really an honor. It's just incredible. But it's really, it's just as big an honor for me to look out at all of you today and to think about the world that you might create going forward. You have all the talent, you have all the creativity, and people from this university have done amazing things throughout the world. So it's fun to think about that as I stand here today. Congratulations. In my view, you got it right. You could have enrolled in many universities in the country, but you chose to come to Dakota State University. You know that DSU is recognized as a national leader in many fields. It's seen as a university that is growing, developing exciting new programs. You know that President Griffiths is recognized nationally and internationally for her expertise, her knowledge, and her vision. Actually, quite an aggressive vision. The faculty here are recognized for their expertise, passion, and dedication. You know that all of them could go anywhere else in private industry and education and have fabulous careers, but they choose to be here. To be sure, DSU's mission is the university that utilizes technology to focus on the computer and cyber sciences. But in my view, and in thoughts and views shared with me by government and business leaders around the country, the biggest reason for DSU's outstanding reputation is because of all of you and the students that came before you. Because it's really the true measure of success for a university is what the accomplishments of its students. And that's where DSU has shown its expertise. DSU students continually receive awards and honors and place high in regional and national competitions in many disciplines, whether it's business plans, science, cyber, or research. There are dozens of examples of those, but one would be that 2 of Dr. Gaylor's students have been back-to-back Goldwater scholars. What a very, very high recognition. Graduates of DSU are working in vital businesses around the country. Many are involved in healthcare. Some have created businesses that employ thousands of people. And at this very moment, graduates of DSU are protecting our country's infrastructure and businesses from cyber attack. For generations, DSU graduates, we have entrusted to DSU graduates the education of our children and grandchildren. So regardless of your degree, regardless of your focus, you got it right. While I've presented to a fair number of audiences in my career, I've never done a commencement address. So like anybody else, I turned to the internet for guidance and inspiration. My search for ideas turned up 10 million opportunities. I didn't think that was going to be very helpful. But finally, I stumbled upon a National Public Radio study that reviewed 300 recent commencement speeches. I thought, great. And they gave me the 4 rules to follow. The first rule, they said, was to be funny. I go, oh, this is not working out very well. I'm not a comedian. It got worse as it went on to describe how Amy Poehler addressed the Harvard graduating class and said that she just killed it in her address to them. I thought, great, I have to compete with professional comedians. I was thinking, maybe I should have declined the opportunity when President Griffiths asked. The second rule they came up with was make fun of yourself. Now we're getting somewhere. I have a lifetime of material I can use, starting with a very embarrassing moment in kindergarten, which we won't go into, my irrational fear of the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz that continues to this day, falling in the ocean with my clothes on a business trip to Ghana, or walking on a sacred rug with my shoes on in Saudi Arabia. I've certainly had far more than my share of embarrassing moments, So I think I can check rule number 2 off. Rule number 3 is to make fun of the fact that no commencement speakers can seem to remember any other speech they've ever heard at a commencement. And it's true. I've been to 20 commencements for family or friends or myself, and I really can't recall anything from the speeches that I heard there. The one speech I thought I remembered was when Marion Wright Edelman addressed the graduating class for my daughter at Montana State University in 2015. So I went and pulled out the commencement brochure. Turns out she wasn't there. It was actually Donna Shalala, former Secretary of Health and Human Services. I'm not sure if I ever heard Marion Wright Edelman speak. Now, commencement speeches might not be memorable for a lot of reasons. For me, it's probably because of my faulty memory. But for most, I think it's because our focus on graduations is at other things, on our future, our family member's future, or our friend's future. So I really do understand your goal is to get your degree, get done with this day, and move on and move forward with your life. Rule number 4 from NPR really gets to the crux of the issue, saying you must have a message. They quote Steve Jobs telling the Stanford graduating class that you have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. Steve Jobs obviously took his own advice, becoming one of the most iconic business leaders of our time and creating products that have had a pervasive impact on us on a daily basis. Ellen DeGeneres had a similar message to grads at Tulane. She said, "Stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path. Unless, of course, you're in the woods, you're lost, and you see a path, then you should follow that one." At one moment, she was funny and delivered a message, so she got 2 of the roles at once. But you know, following your own path is great advice. But I think each of you will do that regardless whether I encourage you to or not. I think your generation is more inclined to, and society is more accepting of, people following their own path. So rather than try to compete with Jobs or DeGeneres or Polar, I'll follow a little bit different path about my message today. And since you likely will not remember me or the overall presentation, I just want you to think about one question. What can I do every day to improve my communication? That's it. So let's visit a bit about communication, first from a broad perspective and then from a more personal level. My basic premise is that humans are inherently not programmed to communicate very well. That rapidly evolving technology makes the problem worse, and that there are a few basic steps we all can take to make it better. Part of the issue is that we humans have evolved not to communicate well. We have some very built-in biases and tendencies that influence how we send and receive information. First, we pay attention to the bad more than the good. Humans have evolved to identify and protect ourselves from risk. This is true whether you're walking in the woods, having a conversation, or planning for the future. A common technique in strategic planning is to tell people to create ideas without the constraints of money, time, or other resources. In large part, this is to bust people out of their tendency to focus on the negative. Think about this the next time you're in a conversation. Are you focusing on the negative or the positive? Secondly, we tend to make very swift decisions without a full fact base. This is probably useful if we're in a crisis or lost in the woods, where time is of the essence, but it might not be so helpful when we are dealing with very complex issues. It's especially problematic in communications because if we've already made a decision, we stop receiving input and we stop listening. We then start playing defense in our conversation. Third, we have a very large appetite for the dramatic. Have you ever noticed how the news media overwhelmingly focuses on the dramatic? There's a common saying in media, if it bleeds, it leads. It's because that's what we pay attention to, and it creates an emotional response, and it stops us from gathering the further information we should to make a good decision. Finally, you've heard about selective perception, which is our tendency to hear and remember the things that we agree with and disregard the things that we don't agree with. You would think that being plugged in 24 hours a day with our phone or having 24-hour news media, that we would be more informed and better able to make decisions. But actually, it seems that the opposite is true. Because of selective perception, one of the other concepts of that is that we disregard things if we can't process it all. So with all the information coming at us, we disregard the things that we don't agree with, and we become more hardened in our own beliefs and don't listen to others. Every one of these natural tendencies shapes how and what we communicate and how we receive communication, especially through digital or social media. These tendencies cause us to have perceptions that are not true, attribute motives that are not correct, and not seek out full information. Layered on top of all these are our own biases created by our life story, when, where, and how we were raised, and the experiences that we've had. So how has our communication been influenced by evolving technology? Throughout history, communication technology has many dramatic advances, each of which had profound societal impacts, mostly for the better, but some for the worse. The creation of the movable type printing press in the 1400s has been called one of the greatest advances of humankind. The view of many at the time was that printing would democratize information and the corrupt or incompetent would be brought to task. Printing truly did make knowledge more readily available, but it would take hundreds of years before it was widely adopted and it really achieved its true potential. And while printing advanced communication dramatically, it took days, weeks, or months to send the communication. Like all advances that had a positive and negative impact, Mark Twain said of the printing press in 1900, it created a new and wonderful earth, and with it, a new hell. It found truth walking and gave it a pair of wings. It found falsehood trotting and gave it two pair. If we skip ahead 500 years to the early 1900s and the invention of the telephone, at once it was possible to have a discussion with a person in a remote location. It transformed our relationships, lives, governments, and businesses. But it would take 45 years before landline phones reached 50% of the population, and 60 years before it reached 80% of the population. When we look at current technology, cell phone penetration went from 10% in 1994 to 96% in 2019, a mere 25 years. For smartphones, if we use the iPhone in 2007 as a reference point, it took 14 years to get to 80% smartphone penetration. Social media had a similar progression, used by 5% of the population in 2005, and has now reached 80% of the population. Today, we can have instant communication with almost anyone, almost anywhere in the world, and we have a whole host of communication vehicles to use. Communication technology has never changed faster, had more vehicles, or been easier to use, and I would contend it's never been worse. Communication today remains the most vexing issue on a national, corporate, or personal level. There is either too little, too much, it's inaccurate, divisive, biased, and impersonal. See, throughout history, communication technology has changed, but we humans using it have not. We still bring our same biases and tendencies to it. Think about it. Up until the last 30 years, communication technology changed relatively slowly, over centuries or decades. And we had time to create norms and rules around communication. Today, communication technologies are changing so fast and so frequently that we don't have the chance to create the norms and conventions for how we communicate with one another. There are really no rules or filters. I'll leave it to you to think about and hopefully resolve the broader societal issues of communication. I want to take what we know about our biases and technology to how each of us communicate with one another. On a personal level, believe it or not, we quite possibly communicate too little. I'm not talking about what we share, post, or like on Facebook, Snapchat, or Instagram. And I'm not talking about texting that seems to replace the phone call. In fact, you probably know this, but US smartphone users spend 26 minutes per day texting versus 21 minutes per day talking on the phone. In a recent survey, 3 out of 10 people said they would give up talking on a phone before they would give up texting. But you can relax. I'm not going to ask you to give up texting or social media. They're really very valuable tools. But I'm going to suggest that we all work every day to improve our communication. as both a sender and receiver. I'm talking about real communication that's intended to share, learn, and develop a relationship. Remember I said ask at the beginning just to think about one question. What can I do every day to improve my communication? I'd like to share 4 thoughts that might make a difference. First, try to understand your own biases and tendencies and how they influence how you send and receive information. I know that my thoughts and beliefs are shaped by the fact that I was in a management position in a large corporation for over 30 years. And while I think I have a good knowledge of the world, and I've traveled quite a bit, it's hard to escape the fact that I've lived and worked within a circle with a 4-mile radius for 57 of my 64 years. Some big world traveler, I guess. Second, get to know and understand who you're communicating with and what their concerns might be. Every one of us has a life story that influences how we receive, process, and send information. It's hard to communicate on substantive issues without understanding the other than more than a superficial level. It's not a natural thing for me to do, and it takes constant effort and attention, but it's led to some of the most interesting conversations I've ever had, not to mention resulted in some good opportunities. The next 2 are a little harder, but I promise they may be the most important. Third, pay attention. Please give those you're communicating with the respect of paying attention. Because of our human tendencies, it's always been a problem, but now it's even worse. We're engaged with phones and computers during a conversation in the mistaken belief that we can multitask. But actually, research shows that multitasking is ineffective. And in fact, research shows that the more you do it, the worse you become at it. You actually make a habit of not paying attention. And you'll miss out on very vital communication. Now, I understand there are legitimate reasons to have a phone or computer with you during conversations, but please, please, please give others the gift of paying attention while they're talking. Finally, you've heard that you should practice the art of active listening, but what does that really mean? A colleague I worked with for over 20 years had what I think is a better take on the concept. She said we should listen with a willingness to be influenced. Most of us are way too busy in a conversation thinking about our follow-on comments, rebuttals, but to be really listening to what's happening in the conversation, and we're missing out on vital cues. The willingness to be influenced may be one of the most largest problems that we have in political discourse today, but it's equally problematic on an interpersonal level. Being willing to be influenced simply changes your whole mindset in a discussion. Doesn't mean that you must change your thoughts or beliefs, you just need to be open to it. So that's it. Work on your communication every day. A few months back, I was listening to DSU's Business Advisory Board, and one of their comments, they, meaning all of you, have all the skills they need. It will be their communications and relationships that will define their success. You've made the right decisions. You've worked hard to get to this point. It's impossible to know the changes that will happen in the world or the path that you or your career will take. But I do know that with what you have accomplished and the tools that you now have, you are well prepared for whatever unfolds. So congratulations. Thank you.
So, Dr. Link, I know your research has said we might not remember this sometime after today. You might not remember what you actually said here today, so we want you to have a memento of the fact that you actually did say something. So we'd like you to present you with this so that you can remember you were here and you did speak. Thank you. I'm now pleased to introduce a musical selection, Make It Last, written and performed by the students in DSU Voices under the direction of music director Sandra Champion.
Shall we change our path?
Life's full of opportunity,
So make it last.
I continue to be impressed by the wide range of talents of our DSU students and the broader campus community, so thank you for sharing your gifts with all of us through the added delight of music. The heart of any university is the faculty. Dakota State University has an especially unique faculty, individuals who are expert in their chosen disciplines and who also have a commitment to and expertise in the use and sharing of leading-edge technology, an edge that is constantly moving forward, requiring them to keep learning and moving forward as well. Our faculty walk side by side with our students every day, often indeed figuratively lifting their students up onto their shoulders so that they may see further than others. Today, we're pleased to recognize a member of the DSU faculty who is retiring this May with 24 years of service to the institution. Please join me in thanking John Nelson, Professor, for his dedicated service to the students of DSU. And I now ask that all of our Dakota State University faculty stand so that we may acknowledge their contributions to today's graduates. Our commencement ceremony includes a member of the graduating class offering a few words on behalf of the graduates. The class of 2019 speaker is Obatola Leawola. Obatola. It's okay, we like that. Obatola grew up in Ibadan and Lagos, Nigeria. He doesn't know that I've been to both places and done some work in both places. Obatola arrived in South Dakota in 2016 and will be graduating today with a BS degree in Digital Arts and Design, graphic design specialization. He's been privileged to show some of his works at local exhibitions in Madison and at the university. He received the winning design of the 2018 DSU Service Day logo and the 2017 Security Awareness poster. Obatola's desire is to use the skills and experiences he's garnered here at DSU to navigate social, intellectual, and occupational challenges in life. After graduation, he hopes to improve his design skills, exploring the unknown, and looks further forward to being a worthy alumnus and ambassador of his alma mater. Obatola.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to deliver a message to all those who are here today. But first of all, I would like to wholeheartedly thank the VP, deans, professors, and finally the graduates. I thank every one of you for making it here today. I thank every one of you for being here. Lord knows none of us want to go back outside. My speech will be divided into a timeline of events: the past, the present, and the future. I'll start with the past. Prior to South Dakota, I was a student at the University of Lagos, Nigeria, studying visual arts, a time that has furnished the foundations of my growth as an artist. Although that time was essential, one vital element was missing, and that was technology. For those who keep wondering why I chose Dakota State University, technology and fancy computers enticed me 7,000 miles across the Atlantic and brought me here. I now recognize technology and research as being a way of going back to the future. The first day I arrived in South Dakota, I was welcomed by a very welcoming blizzard, as if the 13-hour flight wasn't long enough. Upon staying here for the past 4 years, my body still hasn't acclimatized. And I've quickly come to recognize the months of August to almost August are pretty much all winter. After sleeping and waking up to the cold for a week, I thought to myself, what have I gotten myself into? That's how many of us might feel walking into different chapters of our lives today. It might seem scary, daunting at first, but whatever that first step is, whatever it is, it's only going to lead us to greater prospects and openings. Unfortunately, the only openings I had in my case were my eyes peeking through my dorm room window, wishing I was in New Mexico or perhaps Florida. Fast forward to yesterday, I made sure everything was set for today. My gowns, invites, and accommodations for both my parents and my guests. I also practiced my speech one final time in the hopes of delivering a speech that does not put every living person in this room to sleep. But if you do sleep, please try not to snore. Now we're here at the present. You know, I started today with a prayer, trusting that my lips will not be frozen to deliver a speech I never thought I'd have the honor to make. Not because I deserve it, but because of the wonderful nominations of all my professors. But I do strongly believe that is how life works, through surprises. Today is a blessing and a culmination of all our collective efforts. And there has been a level of hope, determination, and perseverance that's gotten each and every one of us here today. Alongside has also been pain, struggle, 8 a.m. classes, but I want you all to understand that these are the very strands that bind us together as students of life. Today I have some good news. We made it, we graduated. Now to the future. I do not know what the future holds. I do not even know what the next hour or minute or even second holds. But I know this, life is unpredictable. Plan, but do not lose track of what matters. Our friends, our family, our beliefs. You never know which day might be your last. Trust me, I know you've heard this before. I know I have, but please hear it again like it's the first time. About 3 months ago, I was involved in a car collision that could have very well ended my life. In that moment, there were only 2 thoughts that crossed my mind, which was God and family. I do strongly believe that it is only by grace that I'm standing here speaking to you today. And on that note, I would like to end my speech with a quote by Steve Jobs that encapsulates how I feel. All eternal expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death. Living only what is truly important. Remembering that you're going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You're already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Obertola. You and your fellow graduates know that you'll always have a place at home here. Dakota State University degrees are authorized by the South Dakota Board of Regents, and we're pleased to have Regent Barb Stork with us today to officially confer degrees on our graduating students. Regent Stork, the faculty of Dakota State University have determined that the candidates before you have completed or will complete all requirements for the degrees identified. And I'm pleased to concur with the recommendation of the faculty. I present these candidates to the Board of Regents for the awarding of degrees.
Thank you, Doctor. It's an honor for me to be here, and I bring you greetings from the South Dakota Board of Regents. And the Regents, and I'm sure your friends and family, want to congratulate and commend you on the hard work of achieving a university degree. They want to wish you future success in both your personal and professional life. So, by authority vested in me by the South Dakota Board of Regents, I authorize Dr. Jose Marie Griffiths, President, Dakota State University, to award the degrees recommended. Thank you.
I now call upon several individuals to assist me with the presentation of diplomas. I ask that these individuals to rise to be recognized, and I ask that the audience hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Dr. Jim Moran, Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Mr. Jim Jacobson, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. Dr. Mark Hawkes, Dean Graduate Studies. Dr. Richard Hansen, Dean, the Beacon College of Computer and Cyber Sciences. Dr. Doreen Bennett, Dean, College of Business and Information Systems. Dr. Judy Dittman, Interim Dean, College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Crystal Pauli, Dean, College of Education. Ms. Kathy Calise, Registrar. Ms. Jennifer Meese, Registrar's Assistant. Student Marshals Lindsay Vogel and Jedediah Sanford. Assisting with the doctoral hooding this morning are Associate Professor Sherry Noterboom and Associate Professor Insoo Park. Now we can go. There are a number of our distance and campus students unable to attend and are joining us by livecast, so we'll be reading all of the graduates' names even though they're not all in attendance. Today, we're especially pleased to present doctoral diplomas to 3 graduates from our Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems program. I invite Provost Jim Moran to present these candidates.
It is my pleasure to invite Arnold Nazelu, candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy degree in Information Systems, to please come forward. I would also like to invite his program coordinator, Dr. Sherry Noterboom, and his dissertation advisor, Dr. Insoo Park, to please come forward for assistance with the hooding. Arnold has completed his Bachelor of Science degree from Georgia College and State University and a Master of Science in Information Assurance degree from Dakota State University. His dissertation is titled Information Security Awareness Programs in Congolese Organizations, Cultural Influence and Effective Use. I recommend to President Griffiths and to the South Dakota Board of Regents that Arnold Nazelu be granted the Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems. I think so. It's my pleasure to invite Michael Prichard for the Doctor of Philosophy degree program in Information Systems to please come forward. His program coordinator, Dr. Noterboom, and Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Hawkes, will assist with the hooding. Michael has completed a Bachelor of General Studies degree from the University of Kansas and a Master of Science in Information Systems degree from Northwestern University. His dissertation is titled Structured Sense-Making of Videographic Information with Dataphoric Space. I recommend to President Griffith and the South Dakota Board of Regents that Michael Prichard be granted the Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems. It is my pleasure to invite Todd Whitaker, candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy degree in Information Systems, to please come forward. His program coordinator, Dr. Noterboom, and Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Hawkes, will assist with the hooding. Todd has completed a Bachelor of Science degree and a Master of Science degree from the University of Akron, along with a Master of Science degree from Ohio State University. His dissertation is titled Factors Influencing Curriculum Adoption in 2- and 4-year Undergraduate Cybersecurity Programs. I recommend to President Griffiths and the South Dakota Board of Regents that Todd Whitaker be granted the Doctor of Philosophy in Information Systems. And congratulations to you all. I ask that Ms. Meese and Ms. Callies please bring graduates forward to receive their diplomas.
Will the candidates for master's level degrees of Dakota State University please rise and come forward? In the Beacom College of Computer and Cyber Sciences, Master of Science in Computer Science, John Russell Benson. Bikram Dangi, Hunter Holbrook, Duong Eli, Nick Mew-Schmook, Joy Rachel Neese, Kwai Fontan Wen. Martinson Kwashi Ofori, Skylar Onken, Nicholas Prokop, Bija Shakiye. Christopher John Smith, Brandon Kyle Whitmire. In the Beacom College of Computer and Cyber Sciences, Master of Science in Cyber Defense, David Anderson. Julie Ann Anderson. Nathaniel Clapp, Leighton Christopher Colvin. Derek Dudley. Stephen Parker Gingras, Nicole Hagdahl, Greer Kerner, Brandon Scott Ortel, Francesca Owafa Opaka Boteng. Kevin Malaba Wafula. In the College of Business and Information Systems, Master of Science in Analytics, Abby Elizabeth Ingram, Greer Kerner, Bradford Thomas Montgomery. In the College of Business and Information Systems, Master of Science in Health Informatics and Information Management, Rachel A. Dybig, Jessica Nicole Hissong. In the College of Computer and Cyber Sciences, Master of Cyber Defense, Nicholas Russo. In the College of Business and Information Systems, Master of Science in Information Systems, Brian Bovey, Peter Gilbertson, Lindy Sue Gowdy, Satalia Nadia Jefferson, Hemant Kota, Kanthi Narakando, Sai Hemant Kumar Palakamali, Shane Paul Robertson, Abe Pratap Singh, Phil Zito. In the College of Education, Master of Science in Education and Educational Technology, Kelly Ann Brinka, Andrew James Fegan, Andrea Fish. Kaylee Grieve. Jenna Marie Grossenberg. Daniel J. Hall. Kayla B. Hinch, Joy Ray Liesinger, Samantha Luzzi, Mitchell Lee Miller, Brianne Morris, Heather Eileen Rogers, Mackenzie Schultz, Lisa Shepardson, and Matthew J. Storm.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate level degrees granted by Dakota State University please rise and come forward? Ashley S. Biggins, cum laude. Peyton M. Brokevich. Joel V. Carmona Rojas. Molly Ann Elwood. Lucas J. Flagan. Rebecca Lynn Fierst, magna cum laude. Mitchell Galloway. Mallory J. Gum, summa cum laude. Eric Hansen. Cole Hubbard. Isaiah Kruger, magna cum laude. Megan J. Lang, summa cum laude. Christian Joseph Larson. Obotala Luwala, magna cum laude. Lauren R. Lowe's. Paul C. Taggart. Aurora Melissa Tangero. Connor Lee Teal. Garrett Ring Verhoeven, magna cum laude. Graduating in the Beacom College of Computer and Cyber Sciences, Matthew Altz. Mustafa Alajudge. Nick Alolina, magna cum laude. Curtis Sutherland Bean. Zachary Becker, cum laude. Matthew Berg, Teresa Bitterman, Derek Bixler, Adam Braham, David M. Brown. Julian P. Butenbach. Adrian Boulani. Joseph Cranford, magna cum laude. William Davidson. Scott Ronald Eide. Armando Elizalde, cum laude. Michael Allen Flack, cum laude. William Geyer, summa cum laude. Maris Guras. Kim M. Grambiller, magna cum laude. Jeffrey D. Hackshaw. Jared Allen Hafner. Alicia Hansen, summa cum laude. Vicki L. Harlan. Nathan J. Harmer, magna cum laude. Jeremy James Ivy, cum laude. Riley Johnson. Adam J. Caprillion. Adam Klepstein. Cody Allen Cluth, magna cum laude. Nathan D. Kramer, magna cum laude. Michael Christian Krause. Brianna Kreitner, summa cum laude. Jonathan Ross Lean, cum laude. Diana J. Lewis. Carson D. Lindblad, also graduating mathematics for information systems. William W. Mattern, magna cum laude. David Charles Stewart Morocco. Devin A. Owen. Gideon Awasu. John Murdick Patterson. Zachary W. J. Pike. Alexander N. Poole, summa cum laude. Josh Reichert. Jacob W. Riley. Matthew A. Rotschafer. Caitlin B. Rudolph. Colin Rumka, magna cum laude. Mitchell L. Sandberg. Cody Schroeder, summa cum laude. Matt B. Schwarzentraub. Zane Roy Snyder, cum laude. Adam Robert Thowell, cum laude. Jonathan Swenson. Lauren Torkelson, summa cum laude. Curtis Blaine Waldner, magna cum laude. Jason L. Wallum. Matthew James Wasley. Justin West. Adam D. Winslow. Skylar A. Whitmer. Graduating College of Business and Information Systems, Zachary Avant. Jordan M. Beers. Shannon Bezonio. Kim Shonda Brianna Grage, magna cum laude. Bradley Gregorowicz. Lance Guthmiller. Catherine Hardy. Derek Jark. Daedric D. Kibbe. Garrett A. Lambert. Joshua Lefdaw. Charles Miller. Darby T. Neal. Also completing a degree in marketing. Jacob M. Nelson. Demir Omerfitz. Kara J. Paulson. Kimberly Diane Pop. Trey Rebel Ramsey. Callie Jill Reisetter. Emily M. Raylos, cum laude. Jessica Rose Scarcliffe, magna cum laude. Jody J. Thompson. John P. Trout, summa cum laude. Kristen L. Williams. Shane J. Wright, cum laude. Julie Yang. Paulina Zock. Graduating in the College of Education. Andrew Dexter Dayton. Rihanna Mae Fitzgerald, magna cum laude. Dylan Conrad Lee Gerke. Allison Casa, Molly A. Coxhouse, summa cum laude. Amanda Larson, Dalton J. Mercer. Kelly Mickle, summa cum laude. Riley H. Miller, Connor J. Nagel, Logan Peckinpah, Lindsay A. Pruce, Casey M. Randall, cum laude. Link Tucker, Mara Vanderberg, summa cum laude. Brianna L. Veldkamp, cum laude. Graduating in the interdisciplinary majors, Kaylee J. Deckenecker, Christopher Jesse Lane Fortune, Maria Guadalupe Gomez, Megan Marie Hayes, Travis James Huddleston, Kennedy Rousseau, Lauren Sandberg, Rachel Mary Sather, Gary Utek. With those candidates graduating at the associate level degrees of Dakota State University, please rise and come forward. Brittany A. Jakes, with honor. Blaine William Nordine. Ariel Isabel Wold. Alexander Wold. Samson Argo. Rachel Benson. Nicholas Michael Camp. Brent T. Hatfield. Graduating in the associate level, College of Business and Information Systems, Dalen Noah Bakadal. Janine Dashiell. Marissa M. Fick, with highest honor. Jennifer Marie Hitchfield, Sarah A. Lund, Raven A. Patton. Graduating interdisciplinary at the associate level, Christopher Archer, with highest honor. Dawson Colling. Neil Player, Logan Christopher Roaring, Cameron Schaefer.
Will the graduates please rise? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree to which you are entitled, with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. Members of this 2019 graduating class, we celebrate your accomplishments. You may now move your tassels from your right to your left, and as you do so, I invite those in the audience to join me in applauding your success. Okay, please be seated. There's one group present that we haven't yet recognized today. Would all the DSU alumni please stand and be recognized and give yourselves a round of applause. Glow Trojans. Now, all of you students that have just graduated half a minute ago, you are now DSU alumni. So next time we call upon alumni, count yourselves in. It's now my pleasure to call upon Mr. Andrew Gross, representing your Dakota State University Alumni Association, to welcome today's graduates as alumni of the university.
Well, good morning, everyone. Graduates, family, friends, faculty, and staff, honorary guests, and President Griffiths. It is an honor to be able to be up here and give the alumni address this morning. I'm Andrew Gross, a pastor here in town, as well as a 2015-2017 graduate of Dakota State University. As a student, I was a pole vaulter and a javelin thrower, the president of a few clubs on campus. I was active in the musical realms, along with being an avid procrastinator. My experiences as a student are the reason I stay involved as an alumni today. I'm able to coach pole vaulting at DSU, officiate basketball games in this gym, donate to athletics, attend alumni events, and come back for all homecoming activities. But today isn't about me. It's about all of you. So let me be the first to congratulate you all. You've worked hard and accomplished your goals to join more than 14,000 others who call themselves proud alumni of DSU. You all received your alumni gift today, and we truly hope you wear that alumni badge of honor and are proud to tell others where you graduated. Along with that pride, we hope that you stay connected to DSU as best as you can. Your involvement post-graduation will help to shape our university in the future. And I think there are 3 distinct ways that you can continue to be involved. You can be involved in spirit. Even though you may move halfway across the country or even halfway across the world, you can still keep up with what is happening at DSU via social media, our newsletters, or even video streams of sports and fine arts. Your connections through these means allow you to stay connected and also share your experiences with those around you. You can be involved by being physically present, returning to campus and speaking in a class, participating in specific alumni events, joining in with DSU's annual day of service. If you love sports like I do, you can join the Trojan Athletic Club or go to any sporting event or even attend homecoming and all that it has to offer. All of these are great opportunities to reconnect, and all of those connections you make and retain will have a greater impact for you as you move forward into the different chapters of your life. Lastly, you can be involved by giving back. DSU loves when you are able to give back in time, in talent, or in treasure. Future students will be the most successful and receive the best education possible with scholarships, advanced technology and facilities, as well as innovative programs. All of those are made possible by our alumni, our family, our friends, and our partners. This is what helps DSU to continue to have the growth we have seen. And it was especially shown when DSU was the only South Dakota public school to see growth in its fall enrollment this past fall. DSU is rising, and we would not accomplish this without the support of our alumni. Your involvement will continue to benefit the many students that will become Trojans in the future. Again, on behalf of the many DSU alumni who came before you, we congratulate you on your hard work and dedication to where you are today, and we wish you the best of luck in your future as well. Congratulations.
Before we conclude, I'd like to ask that we all take just a couple of moments to savor this occasion. Graduates, or should I say new alumni, this is a significant milestone in your lives and in the launching of your careers on various trajectories of success. We don't know where your paths will lead you as you leave Dakota State, but we do know that they will be wider and rich with greater success and experiences than had you never attended DSU. And as you leave, I challenge you to take with you the knowledge and wisdom from those that you received from those faculty who worked with you and the staff who worked with you. I challenge you also to stay in touch with the people who've been significant to you during this time. Those relationships will shape your lives in ways you may not yet see or understand, but they are important and you need to continue to nurture them, if only from a distance. Most of all, I challenge you to stay in touch with the person you have become during your studies here at Dakota State and as a result of all your education and experiences, everything that's led you to this day. Families and friends, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Dakota State University, I thank you all for attending this commencement. We invite you to join our graduates and the faculty at the Dakota Prairie Playhouse for punch, coffee, and cake in recognition of today's graduates. To conclude this commencement, I ask that the entire audience rise and join in the singing of the Alma Mater, led by the DSU Voices. The words are on the back of your program. And then after the singing, please remain standing for the recessional. Thank you very much.
On the eastern plains of South Dakota, where the sunshine is ever near, there's a college we are proud to honor, whose name to us is dear. Cheer her on to victory, now your voices raise, for her colors blue and gold sing praise. Dakota State University, Dakota State University, true and loyal to thy name forever, nothing from our hearts thy love can sever. Hail to thee, our college, may thy spirit live, our alma mater dear.